Welcome to breakfast.
Thanks for joining us.
Hello.
You're going to have a great time.
Remember, Kev, you aren't getting any younger.
Sun up, I think, in about 10 minutes' time.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. You've been up there and looked down at us here. Right, let's go live to Westminster.
Today is going to be much colder than of late.
We do want to hear your stories.
Oh, he does smell good, actually.
Arnold Schwarzenegger, thank you very much.
Start your day the BBC Breakfast way on BBC One and iPlayer.
At 6, Hugh Edwards resigns from the BBC on medical advice. Hugh, who worked here for 40 years, has been off air since last July after allegations that he paid a young person for sexually explicit photos. Also tonight, the Prime Minister's plan to deter migrants. Rishi Sunak promises flights to Rwanda by July.
Hello from Westminster. He promised to send migrants by the spring. He now says it'll happen by the summer. But first, he has to pass a new law tonight.
More pain for homeowners as 5 mortgage lenders increase their rates again, with others expected to follow. How crucial technology on so-called smart motorways has been hit by hundreds of power outages.
And coming up on BBC News, following their defeat to Everton, Nottingham Forest have requested the recorded audio between officials is released after they publicly criticised VAR.
Good evening. Hugh Edwards has resigned from the BBC, saying he was leaving on the basis of medical advice from his doctors. The BBC has confirmed that he has not received a payoff as part of his departure. He worked at the BBC for 40 years, the highest profile and highest paid news presenter who also fronted major national events, most recently the King's coronation. But he has been off air since last July after newspaper reports emerged claiming that he had paid a young person for sexually explicit images. Our culture editor, Katie Razzle, reports. Gordon, thank you. The time is just after 6:15, our top story this evening. Hugh Edwards has resigned from the BBC on medical advice after a 40-year career at the corporation. And coming up, the pull of Taylor Swift, why this London pub has suddenly found international fame.
Coming up on BBC News, England's Shaun Murphy is through to the last 16 of the World Snooker Championships after a convincing win over Lu Haotian. We'll have the latest from the Crucible.
The Metropolitan Police has apologised to the mother of the murdered teenager Stephen Lawrence for breaking its promise to answer questions raised by a BBC investigation into his killing. Stephen was 18 when he was stabbed to death in a racist attack in South London 31 years ago today. Last year, the BBC's Daniel de Simone named Matthew White as the 6th suspect in the case. Here is Daniel's latest report. Play school. I remember watching far too much of that. That ages me a bit. Time for a look at the weather now. Chris Fawkes.
Yes, I'd say me too as well, Sophie. Today, well, we've had quite a lot of cloud with some damp weather, particularly affecting parts of England. Not the most inspiring until we get something a bit nicer. Sophie.
Oh, well, Chris, thank you very much. And that's it from the BBC News at 6. It's time now to join our colleagues for the news where you are. Goodbye.